The World Soul by H. Fielding Hall. Copyright 1913, second edition. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. A glossary. Emotion. Emotion is the reaching after a definite idea or purpose, the controlling of energy towards an end. All emotions are forms of one emotion, love or its negative hate. The idea or intention in love is preservation of and oneness with what is loved. The idea of hate is division from and destruction of what is hated. Emotion is not subject to law, but has an objective. It acts only in one direction towards the realization of its purpose. Any emotion is rightly directed or not as it tends to the realization of the increasing purpose of life, the oneness and perfection of soul in flesh. Energy. Energy is a movement in matter. It is bound by laws. It acts equally in all directions and has no object or idea. It is blind. All energies are forms of one energy. Faith. Faith. I have fully explained how Jesus uses this word in chapter 13. It means wisdom and courage. Fatality. Fatality. This does not mean that events are preordained or predetermined. That is not so. But as each individual is but a cell in a world body animated by a world life, his freedom of action is small. The life of the world is one, proceeding from events in the past, directed towards an objective in the future. What has happened in the illimitable past, what is happening about us in the present, and the objective in the future so control our individual lives as to render them fatalistic. Forgiveness. Forgiveness, non-persistence. What persists is not forgiven. What by the law of evolution of the soul does not persist is forgiven. God. God. If behind the phenomenon of the universe there lies one first cause, then he is God. But with one possible exception, no phenomenon are directly due to God. We know nothing about him but negatives. Having created the universe under law and placed it in a world soul to develop it, he leaves it alone. All phenomenon of life are due to the efforts of the world soul to reduce matter and natural forces to obedience. No miracles ever occur, and no breaches of natural law are possible. God does not interfere in any way. He listens to no supplications, nor creates any special providences. There is a way to success if man likes to take it. If not, he won't get it. Heaven. Heaven is soul and spirit. The world's soul and spirit, and each individual's soul and spirit. Jesus uses the term both of the whole and of each individual item, for each part is of the whole. It is the only enduring part of the individual. Each soul and spirit comes from the sum to return to the sum, taking with it what it has acquired of sympathy and wisdom. All other individual qualities, including memory, disappear at death. It is the immortal part of us, and is an atom of the world soul, a drop in the ocean of life, which permeates the world and develops it. The kingdom of heaven is not a distant spirit world, but a quality that resides in matter and can only be so manifested. It is within you. Its aim is complete manifestation in flesh. Man is every emotion cultivated to the utmost, all under the control of perfect wisdom, with disease, stupidity, incapacity, death eliminated. In command of a world in the same state is the purpose of life. It will never be completely realized, but we shall always get nearer. Hell, hell, the place to which all bad qualities go when they are eliminated, that is, to nowhere or annihilation. No persons go there, only their bad qualities. It means that bad qualities are eliminated forever. Hypothesis. Hypothesis. The focus which is necessary in order to determine the equation of the curve. It must be assumed because it lies beyond the plane of experiment and cannot be verified. Without a focus, however, the curve of facts cannot be planned even approximately, and it cannot be prolonged. A hypothesis is necessary to every theory. But the hypothesis is subordinate to the facts, not vice versa. If with a given focus you find your curve departing from fact, you must alter the focus. Knowledge. Knowledge is what is learnt by experience, retaining and remembrance of how it was acquired. Life. Life is emotion controlled by wisdom acting through energy on matter. Mercy. Mercy. I will have mercy and not sacrifice. The world soul does not demand from each of us sacrifice but mercy. How can we show mercy to the world soul? It means sympathy, understanding of its aims and objects, of the difficulties in the way, and therefore a confidence and love which does not misjudge. We all of us suffer a great deal of pain. We must understand why that is inevitable, yet, and not blame the world soul. It does its best, and all will come right in the end. Tout comprendre c'est tout pardonner. To understand all is to forgive all. Comprehension means mercy, and therefore mercy means comprehension or sympathy. Prayer. Prayer means obtaining by begging. That is the only meaning it has. It is allied to precarious. But although in religion this was its original meaning, in later times an extended meaning has been given. It has been obvious that by begging, humiliating yourself, or flattery, you only degrade yourself for nothing, and therefore to justify prayer, the qualities of aspiration, self-concentration, and thought have been included. To prayer have thus been given a luster and a value that do not belong to it. It means obtaining by begging and that only. To the other mental emotions, their correct name should be given, and they should not be confounded with prayer. Righteousness. Righteousness. The realization of the object of life and the unceasing effort to its fulfillment. All is right that tends to the right end. It is wisdom. Sin. Sin. Ignorance of the object of life and the resulting difficulties put in the way of its accomplishment. The chief sin is stupidity. All is sin that obstructs the right end, that tends toward less life, less emotion, less truth, less freedom, less courage. Unintentional and unavoidable sin is forgiven, but intentional sin, of which there is hardly any, and stupidity, of which there is a great deal, are never forgiven. They must be retrieved by acquiring common sense. Soul. Soul. The soul of a man is his emotion. The more emotion you have, the more soul you have. Spirit. Spirit is knowledge and wisdom. Sympathy. Sympathy is the capacity to put yourself in another's position and to feel glad or sorry, angry or proud with them, to analyze their situation and detect its causes and consequences. There is hardly any sympathy in the world. It understands neither the word nor the emotion. Theory. Theory. A theory is the curve into which observed phenomenon are arranged. Trinity. Trinity is the world. The first person is nature and all the forces working therein. Within nature is infinite capacity for all things when controlled and developed by the world soul. It is the world body. The second person is the soul, which exists in the world from the beginning and to which all phenomenon of life are due. It is emotion. This is the world soul. It found its highest expression in Jesus and his teaching. Hence, he called himself the soul of man. All phenomenon of life are due to the workings of the world soul in the world body, trying to perfect it and to master it. The third person is wisdom. This has been developed slowly from the first by experience. All living things are the result of wisdom slowly acquired through eons of time. This wisdom is not in matter, but in the soul which pervades matter. The knowledge of how to become an oak is not in the acorn, but in the world soul. The arrangement of matter in the acorn is, however, the necessary preliminary to an oak being developed. It is so with all things. This wisdom will grow forever. It is the world spirit. This Trinity is the world of which we are a part. It exists in each of us. It has to be developed forever. We ourselves are to be the perfect Trinity. Understanding. Understanding of people is the same as sympathy. Of events is knowing their emotional cause and relation to other events. Of books or legends is knowing what the writer wanted to say, what thoughts were in his mind. Of a word, it is a clear comprehension of the idea it should convey and its difference from the ideas in similar words. Will. Will. There is no word that is so abused in philosophy, government, and common thought as this word. Will does rightly mean intensified desire or wish to the accomplishment of which all effort is directed. It does not include ability. You may be ill and desire to be well. You may will to be well, but if your disease is incurable, that won't cure you. A prisoner may will to be free. His prison bars remain. There is a proverb that where there is a will, there is a way, which is absurd, although of course intensified wish accompanied by effort can sometimes succeed in minor matters. To wish does not give ability, or there would be no sick, no cripples, no poor, no criminals. But in general use, will is supposed to include ability, and men do not then recognize that there are two ingredients, both of which must be present or will does not exist. Hence the fallacies that have arisen. Men are supposed to commit crimes and to sin from want of wish, and therefore it is right to punish them here and hereafter. They do not sin from want of ability, which is quite another matter. Jesus used the word in its true value when he said, "The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Will means wish wrote big and nothing else. Ability is a totally different matter. Wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge become instinctive. It has no memory of antecedents. It knows because it knows. End of glossary.